Hello and welcome back to the lore of Neverwinter. We're going to go visit the second part of Vellosk, the end of Vellosk, the exciting conclusion to the campaign. If you saw part one, you know this is all about werewolves. And the whole idea is that they are embracing the ways of Shar, or most of them are, and those that aren't have sort of brought us in to help. We were in this zone last time. We're going to return here, but we're going to kind of fly past these foes. Oh, we're going to admire. Look at this. Look at this, how cool it is. So that up there, that big maw that's sort of made out of stone, that is where we're going. That's where the big bad is going to be found, which is a really cool thing. We gained 2 artifacts last time. We're going to use those to open the portal with a sort of opposites kind of philosophy. One is dedicated to Shar and the other to the sister Saloon, so kind of good and evil. And bringing those artifacts together opens up the portal. Never mind that there are tons of werewolves here and somehow they go in and out all the time, but you know, that's sometimes stories are like that. We'll just deal. But this is a really cool zone. So check this out, right? We're like, it looks like we're underground, but we're not really. We're going into a mountain is more what this is. And so you'll see all kinds of rocky formations from the werewolves, but look also at that cool blue mist. That's kind of neat. That actually harms you if you get in it. And then we've got tons of werewolves who are all aligned with Shar, either because they're tricked into following it because they think that it's actually them following their champion demigod, or because they actually have come along to the side of evil willingly. But either way, we must defeat them to get to the end. And I thought that the reason we were going to the end to defeat was actually to fight the prince, one of the princes of the shades of the evil Netherese that have gone to the shadow world. Well, most Netherese are evil. But it's not that we're fighting actually that shade prince or princess. It's actually the werewolf that is aligned with them. But look at this cool scenery. We use this orb to open up. But look at the details there. The hanging stalactites. Yeah, just really neat. And we had to manipulate that orb to get across. That's all just super cool. I love the kind of ruins here. And I think the concept, it's not clear, but I think this is still supposed to be the remnants of that floating city we talked about last time. So, you know, the Netherese and their floating citadels, those came crashing down at various points. This was the remnants of Zillianal, the first ever floating city that the Netherese had. And so the Netherese are all here trying to recover it. The Netherese are now shadow infused from being in the Shadowfell for so long when they fled there to survive. So they've come here to manipulate this. They're one of the forces that is preying on the city of Neverwinter. So really cool spot here. Look at that neat architecture. We'll see those themes throughout. And we go up these steps here. And we'll be attacked by all these, but that's okay. I'm a powerful warlock. She's got all kinds of like a fireball type thing, and I've got whirling blades that go around me, which you see just finished. Yeah, and look at that. What neat landscape, right? It's amazing. When you are writing your own adventures, if you do that, if you play the D&D game, drop on those influences. And this is kind of neat. There's a trap here. You see a little circle in the center right there? That's actually a spear that'll fling out. If you go in front of it, you'll trigger it, but go to the side and it's all safe. Let's see if I can get my companion to trigger it. It doesn't look like it. All right. So, yeah, I draw these fighters towards me, bring them in, summon the powers of the 9 hells because I've got a pact with them, get my loots. And here's another really cool spot. Look at that. Oh, what a sweet view. Yeah. So that's the kind of thing when you're creating adventures, to create really neat, epic feeling places. That's just, I think, so neat. Yeah, super cool. And so now we're going to fight one of the Grey Wolf Den leaders, this Redgar Thunderfist. He would normally be pretty tough, but again, this is an old zone, and I'm a fairly experienced character who's going to go flat on my face, but okay. I mean, I was wanting you to see a little bit of what they do, so they have this sort of leap attack, which is kind of cool. They can pound you down with the blade, and then when they get around half hit points, I think, they will sort of turn huge, but I guess I killed them before I do that. But yeah, sort of like other ones we saw in the previous video, they will sort of hulk up into this strong werewolf form, which is a kind of take on how werewolves tend to have forms. So they'll have like a hybrid form, or they'll have just a wolf form. And these guys are sort of in hybrid form anyway, but then they kind of tend to super hybrid form. It's neat. It's a video game. There's some stuff like that. But look at this. I love this architecture. It's so cool. Really neat designs. Yeah, it just really gives it a sort of almost alien flavor. And this is really cool. So look at this. There's one that's sort of kneeling in the center. So what it is, there's nothing in this ceiling, but the round areas here. Well, there's one of those in the ceiling, and snow's falling through. And if you remember in the first video, I sort of looked at all the different lights that were along the mountains. So it's that sort of idea that there's some areas where the light comes through. Yeah, you saw it there, and so they're like just in the snow, like just enjoying it, which is so cool. If this were a role-playing game, I would have talked to them and, befriended them, but oh well. There's also some places here that sort of, like old mine shaft, but doesn't really lead anywhere. There's just a skill node there, but nothing to, you can't keep on going that way. And I want to say that this, either the version, so there's a version of this that is what's called a dungeon formally, where you play with other players and you defeat the content. So I think Kragma Grey Wolf Den as a dungeon maybe has some extra stuff where it used to. I don't remember because they sometimes change things, but they're definitely no longer in this version if I ever had it. There used to be a secret door that you'd go through, and it would lead to you being able to kind of find this puzzle, and it involved like chests or something. I don't even remember. But I missed that. I wish I could find that and show it to you, because it's sort of fun to see when, if you watch my video on Tomb of Annihilation, I like it when they try to implement puzzles. It's kind of a neat idea. Not everybody likes them, but I like them in moderation, and I just think the design of them is very interesting to see how people do that. So we got more of this blue eldritch stuff, which is kind of cool. And you can see there's some nice different ways to go. So I could have gone left or right. Doesn't hugely matter, but it's just sort of fun thing I can do. Here's another spot with snow and some wolves. Very cool, little drifting snow coming down from above as we fight. Pretty cool. I like it. Yeah. Now, one does kind of think, hey, couldn't I just come in through there instead of having to get the artifacts of Saloon and Shar? But all right, it's fine. Still think it's a neat touch, and it does kind of speak to when we saw all those lights on the long mountain. Okay, well, maybe there's some ways to get in. But presumably those were harder ways to get in, or we have to climb. I don't know. Here's another main boss, Packmaster Zayev. Calls sort of more wolves to his or her side. Kind of cool. Yeah, and that door opens up when we slay the Packmaster. Cool area here. It's neat. Some of these have like little entrances that you can go into if you want to. You can hop up there, and I think there used to be a chest in one, but now it's like skill nodes in most of them or nothing. So yeah, fun. So if this is the idea of being a fallen Netherese city, I don't know if the layout makes a whole lot of sense, but it's still kind of interesting and fun. So maybe the idea is it's just ruins with certain chambers interconnected and they can't get to all of them. I don't know. This is kind of neat, the little ambush point. They're like all around you when you come in here. So we take out these young blood archers and some of the leaping type that come at you. But I always think it's neat, and then you can't really see them until you go in there. When you're first running, it's kind of neat. When you're a new player, you're kind of like, whoa, what happened? Always fun to have some ambushes. And this is kind of neat too. Some of them will react to me when I take these out. And look at this view. Oh, so cool. The full moon, snow blowing into the windows. Yeah, very cool. Take these out. Some other ones immediately react. A bunch of storm collars. Yeah, very neat. I like the monster design they do here. And just, you sadly can't leap out the window, but it sure is a sweet view. And yeah, it's always a full moon in Vellosk. I don't know how it works, but it's pretty cool. Very cinematic. Gotta take some liberties. Pick up our loots here. Gotta get all our loots. Wouldn't be a D&D game without loot, even if it's weird loot sometimes. Another little kind of ambush point, kind of fun. Looks like there'd be doors or something, but no, you can't go anywhere there, so it's okay. Yeah, kind of fun. So another kind of point where you can go, you know, left or right. You can kind of choose where you are. So that's kind of cool. And these purple pools are neat little chambers. And this is an area where I think either here or in this other place there used to be that secret lair that I'm remembering. If somebody happens to remember it, you can maybe add a comment in the chat as to where it was. I think it's this point up here we're going to get to soon. But so if you notice, we're going ever upwards, right? Like slowly up, up, and up, and up. And what that is we're winding around this mountain. There's another cool view. But yeah, we're winding up the mountain towards that big stone maw that's got all the fires burning up in it. But yeah, I love the way they do this. I think this is the other spot where I think maybe this is where the secret door was, like over here. You see there's even a chamber on the map, but we can't get into it. Yeah, that little zone there, right? Like, we'll see. Someday maybe I'll try it on the dungeon and make everybody mad because I'm taking a while, but another cool view. Yeah. So we're getting close to the end here. Well, relatively close. But yeah, more toppled areas. You can see this is ruins, and we're going up again. They do a nice job of reminding you that you're kind of corkscrewing your way up. Yeah. So here, this is neat. This kind of opens up into this kind of heart of the mountain, and you get this really neat view. And look at those shadows, right? Of like werewolves, and they're even like changing. It looks like they change into werewolf or into wolf form or something. That's kind of cool. And there's a guard over there, it looks like. Yeah, kind of neat. Gives you that feeling that it's larger than it is. And that's neat with adventures sometimes to do that when you're designing adventures for the tabletop game, to kind of put these things that remind you that you're part of a larger world. And, you know, you don't want to rouse all those enemies over there, but just to, yeah, be a part of it. Take these guys out here, and then I'll show you something else that's kind of fun. So it's a really neat view, but also some sort of fun they have. Which is the idea of having a villain look at you. So that is the villain that we're going to take out later. I think they're supposed to be with like the shade prince at their side, but the one in red is sort of the villain we're going to fight later. Yeah, kind of cool. So they're kind of boasting like they're going to take us on. But on the other side, look at this amazing view, right? Really cool. I would have liked it if this is supposed to be the floating city. I would have really dug it if they had actually like tied in the Mythalar, which is supposed to be up there. I think that would have been kind of cool, but so we'll see. It would have been neat. So this is kind of cool. This ambush where they kind of jump out at you as you're going through this zone. Yeah, they just sort of leap out. And it gives, again, that feeling that everything's bigger than it actually is. You can't get there. It's, you know, just a little stirp on either side probably, but it feels like you're part of this bigger area, and they jumped out at you. I always thought it was a kind of neat, dynamic way to do it. And then what we're going to come to is a bunch of, yeah, you can't get up there, but a bunch of foes here who guard this gate that you can trigger to go across a huge pit. And one of the fun things to do, I'll pick up my loot, but one of the fun things to do is actually try to jump it as it comes across. And many a time we die when we're all in the group play by messing up this jump. I'm going to try this a little risky. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, there you go. So oops. Yeah. So when you die like that, trying to make it across, when you die like that, you look like a fool because everybody else in your party is like, dude, no, and we got to wait for you to come all the way back here. And the zone reset, it takes you back to like way further away. So you got to go through this whole area again. So let's appreciate this architecture one more time as we go back through this little area that we did before and admire those purple pools. Did I mention how cool they are? Yeah. Shouldn't get lost. That's one thing that happens too with players is they'll die on that pit trap trying to do an outrageous jump, and then they forget which way to go, and so everybody's trying to like yell at them in chat, like typing like, no, turn this way, the other way, you're going the wrong way, because you can see the players on your mini map. Yeah, so yeah, it's gorgeous. I just wanted to show you the snow again and the windows, and really well done. You appreciate there it's so much more the second time around. Anyway, yeah, I botched that jump. That's a shame. Good jump when you can make it. But that's how it goes. That's how it goes. Almost there. We're just going to go again through this area. Maybe that's why that the NPC was teasing me. Really would be cool if they put like right around here, they could put another, zone restart for the people like me that do the jump. Don't worry, I'll get you. I'll get you. I know you're laughing at me. The Warlock has a cool feature, which is this shadow slip where I can go really quickly, move relative to normal movement. So every now and then it regenerates, and then I can zoom away, and it kind of creates wisps of shadow around. It's kind of cool. I like how Warlocks are done. So you see, the platform's fully extended over those sharp bits now. So if I waited a couple seconds, I could have gone right in. But hey, we're at the end. This is it. This is the end of the Grey Wolf Den. It's really cool end moment. If you want to have your battles in cool places, here we go. We are inside the stone maw. So that's the jaws that we saw from down below. And we're going to face off against Ithraniev Marrow Slake. And again, the lore had sort of made it sound like we were going to fight this I don't know where it is. The quest made it seem like we were going to fight the bad Netherese person, but does not appear to be that way. It's just that we're taking on Ithraniev Marrow Slake. So I thought it was the shade, but okay. So yeah, look at this neat place here. Like we're in the throat of the wolf, stone throat. And we're gonna come down. Those neat kind of, the big fires. That's a sweet spot to fight. And you see that purple paw there? That's probably from the blood of sacrifices or something terrible like that. Or maybe they got a discount on paint. Hey, I'm not gonna judge. But yeah, neat looking. So make your next boss fight. If you do the tabletop game, and again, here's where we are, right? This is the art that we saw at the beginning, right? We're in that maw. Really cool. So yeah, if you're going to do a boss fight, maybe something cool like this is what you want to go with, because that's pretty much awesome. Yeah, can't go wrong with this kind of design. But it is time. Thranev, your moments are numbered. Prepare to meet your maker. Let's see. Get that set up right. Yeah, pretty cool. And when you do this fight in the dungeon, it's different. So this is going to be kind of faster and simpler doing this. But when we normally do it, there's a really neat mechanic where Ithraniev sort of surrounds himself in this sort of bubble of energy. But you see some neat things. So kind of like a warlock. I guess the idea is they've done a Pact Shar. So huge sword swings, this hand that comes out in various different ways. And I'm going to see, I have a hand power too. Let me equip it here. It'll take a little second to recharge. But, and then Ithraniev will summon various bad people. But in the other version, there was my hand attack. In the other version, Ithraniev kind of surrounds himself with this bubble, can't be hurt, and you have to kill the sort of shadow wolf forms. Which is a nice way of sort of representing the Shar connection, but we still get that here with these attacks. I'm pretty high level, so I tore through Ithraniev pretty quickly, take on these last ones, and this is it. We have defeated the Vellosk campaign, which is, kind of cool. And so what's going to happen now is, that's a cool popper in here. So we'll go back and turn in our kind of final quest. But it's really cool and nice to look, I love the details here. And the stones look really cool around this maw. Sadly, can't jump up there, but the big moon. It'd be neat if you could look down upon where you were before. But yeah, just sweet, sweet place to have a boss fight. Yeah, so steal that one for your ideas, those of you who do tabletop D&D, because can't go wrong with something like this. Coming down to that big maw. Yeah, and I need to remind myself to use this kind of ideas. So we come out here. We're going to quickly go through these neat stone obelisks one last time, and we will go down to turn in our quest and end the Vellosk campaign. Yep, yes. Hedrick, we have done the job, old fella. Yes, I am surely blessed by the Battle Father. Good thing my deeds will not be forgotten. It's one of the reasons I do it. That and the mad loots. All right, so now we're going to go back to the city. We can do that from this desk right here, which is kind of nice. And what's going on here is we're going to go to Protector's Enclave again because we have to turn in a quest to see, since this is a sort of starting area, the way they've redone these things, we will have to go in and turn in, kind of see Sergeant Knox, who's the main NPC that gives us quests in most of the campaigns. So we'll visit Sergeant Knox in this new kind of area. We can go up there, but yeah, so you can see here's Protector's Enclave, and this is during the summer event that I'm doing this, so it has a kind of warm glow. We can turn this in, and then we get a series of quests that are needed in order to get the true rewards for having done Vellosk. And the biggest thing we want is the cool bag that a lot of folks are doing Vellosk for, so you can have a lot of more space in your inventory. So you equip this sort of bag of holding, and you get more spaces. Kind of a neat idea. So we go into this Adventurers Guild, which is a relatively new zone, meant to be a place where you can hang out and you do these intro quests. So we turn this sort of stuff in and just talk to the mail person so you know what the mail is. Let's see, where do we have to go? No. Yeah, up there. And we're going to talk to, let's see, we've got to do a couple of different ones. This is a auctioneer they've placed up there. And then one last one. No. Here we go. Neat looking place. Oh yeah, Rick's about Astral Diamonds, which is a bizarre currency that somehow we use in this game. Doesn't make a whole lot of D&D sense. It is canonical. There are Astral Diamonds in the Astral Plane that are used for really expensive things, but it shouldn't be our main currency, but oh well, so it goes. We do also have gold and stuff. So now, turn that in, and there we go. Sweet big bag with 42 inventory slots, 20,000 rough Astral Diamonds. This is the kind of stuff we want. Makes us feel good. Warm inside. Just like a job well done. There we go. All the good stuff. So that's it. That's really the Vellosk campaign and the rewards for it. I hope you kind of enjoyed that overall concept. If you do, please support my work. You can do so and get yourself a free rules for collaborative campaign creation on my blog at alphastream.org. And you can also go to the DM's Guild and find my adventures there. Greatly appreciate your support. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.